The flesh is full of fear, but the spirit is not. But if we walk in the Spirit, we shall fear nothing at all. All of our fears, we could say, are based upon the flesh, are based upon our bondage and our attachment to the physical world, everything in relation to the world. Because fear is basically in this fear of that I will lose something physical, I will lose this thing that I cherish so much that is of this world. Now, people are in fear of death, people are in fear of losing their money, their property, their assets, other physical things of this world which we entangle meaning towards through bondage. Yet the bondage we form with the things of this world creates codependence. We create codependence with the physical things we bound ourselves to. And it doesn't give us freedom. It doesn't give us any sense of freedom. We attach ourselves to the things of this world, which in return reap us the disadvantage of fear into our lives. Because our fear comes from the bondage we create with the things of this world. Because spiritually, we are not supposed to be bound to this world. It is not our true home, you could say. Which is why, when we become bound to these things of the world, we don't get fulfillment, we just get addiction. We don't actually achieve a sense of fulfillment with ourselves, with these things. Because we are not supposed to be bound to those things. We are instead supposed to live through the Spirit. Not through the flesh, through the lusts of temptation, through that of the body. Instead, we are supposed to live through the Spirit and to be in and with the Spirit of God through Christ. So how do we overcome fear? We must try our hardest with all of our hearts to commit ourselves to walk in the light of the Spirit through the supreme moral ethic of love, selfless love, and not to that which resides in this world. Because selfless love doesn't reside within this world. It is something instead much more spiritual, not physical, not materialistic. This way our fear shall fall away from us, as we will not be living in bondage to the world, we will not be mistaking the temporal with the eternal. For the things which are seen are temporal, but the things which are not seen are eternal. Love is the greatest weapon against fear. Yet we are seeking love through bondage with the world and of course never finding it, because we are not of this world. You will not find true love through money, through the assets you have, the materialistic things that you lust over through the lusts of life, but only that of the lust of the flesh will you feel that and be inclined towards that. We will not find love through those things. As it says in Galatians chapter 5, verse 16 to 17, "This I say then, walk in the Spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lusts of the flesh. For the flesh lusteth against the Spirit, and the Spirit against the flesh. These are contrary the one to the other, so that ye cannot do the things that ye would." So we must allow the Spirit of God to dwell in us, so that we can walk in the Spirit with God. Through practice and good faith, we move past our bondage to the fear of this world, so that we may walk in love as Christ also hath loved us, and hath given himself for us, an offering and sacrifice to God for a sweet-smelling savour. Ephesians chapter 5, verse 2. So what I'm saying here is that the reason why we are never fulfilled is because we are always chasing things of this world. And we are tricked by the temptations. We are tricked by the lusts of the flesh, for attaining these things of temptation, of desire. But they ultimately do not fulfill us, because in the act of trying to attain them, that itself is a form of addiction, we repeat the same cycles over and over again to get the same outcome. Yet at the end of the day, we'd be like, well, I'm not fulfilled, but I'll just keep doing it anyway. Because we are seeking fulfillment in the wrong place. We cannot find fulfillment. We cannot find fulfillment in the material. We cannot find it there. It doesn't exist there. Because the eternal does not exist within the material. The material world fades away all the time. It goes to dust. And it rebirths itself. But it can only rebirth itself through love. Through the love of God. For example, when you form a family through love, creation and life birth itself again through love. And in that sense, we bring life into being. So when it comes to fear, we cannot be in fear when we walk in the Spirit of God. Because the highest moral ethic, moral supreme ethic that Christ embodies is selfless love, agape love, you could say. For that is more the verse of what Jesus tries to embody and embodies through his message. Love unto others as you would love unto yourself. Agape love, selfless love. And through the means of that, we find true fulfillment. So that is my message today in this video. I hope it comes towards you with good health. And I hope it kind of gives you a way of looking at fear in a more appropriate way that's more spiritual, more real. Because we fear that in which we are attached to, in which we bound ourselves to. And if we walk in the Spirit of God, we are to fear nothing, because we are to embody Christ's virtues through selfless love, humility, compassion for other people. Selfless love. And things of this nature. And if we live through that mode of being, there is nothing for us to fear. Because we won't gain attachment to things of this world in which ultimately do not fulfill us. Love is the only thing which can fulfill us. So therefore we must give it out upon strangers, upon our friends, upon our family on a daily basis for us to truly receive what is meaningful for us in our lives. So I hope this gives you some new refreshing perspective on how to view fear and overcome it for good by not forming bondage to things of this world, because they do not ultimately give us fulfillment. So God bless, and I'll speak to you in the next video. Thanks for watching.